Good morning, Triangle families. I'm going to talk about God has plans for everyone. Before that, let me ask something. Why are young people leaving the church? Church here means church in general, it's not specifically our church. This is a big topic as we discuss always at community meeting, how to bring young people to church service. And there are many reasons for young people not coming to church. Here are some of main ones. Google AI gave. I asked ChatGPT, and these are the answers I got. One is cultural shift. Young people tend to value authenticity, inclusivity, and social justice more than previous generations. They may find churches to be out of touch with these values, or even hypocritical. Second one, deconstruction and doubt. Young people are growing up in an information age with easy access to a variety of viewpoints. This can lead to questioning traditional beliefs. Third, relevance and experience. Some young people feel the church services aren't relevant to their lives, or that the experience feels outdated. Are these good analysis? Looking at my children, I think this is good analysis. So, is our church out of touch with inclusivity? We frequently highlight positive features of our church movements. For example, HJ Global News features loyal young second generation who pray with tears and testify to parents with conviction. Then is God exclusive? Does God only help those who share a specific religious belief in Him? Does God abandon us when we do not follow His guidance? Based on my more than 30 years of living in faith, I think God cares more for those who fall short of church's expectations. I will present a well-known poem titled Footprints in the Sand and some biblical passages about dealing with failure. This is a poem, Footprints in the Sand. This is very popular, so many of you know. Let us read this poem. One night, I dreamed a dream. As I was walking around the beach with my Lord, across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene, I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to me and one to my Lord. After the last scene of my life flashed before me, I looked back at the footprints in the sand. I noticed that at many times along the path of my life, especially at the very lowest and saddest times, there was only one set of footprints. this really troubled me. So I asked the Lord about it. Lord, you said once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I noticed that during the saddest and most troublesome times of my life, there was only one set of footprints. I don't understand why. When I needed you the most, you would leave me. God whispered, my precious child, I love you and will never leave you, never ever, during your trials and testings. When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. This is a beautiful poem telling how God cares us, especially when we have challenges and difficulties. The next is Bible verse regarding to reading, handling with failure. The righteous may fall 7 times, but still get up. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't rely on your own intelligence. Know Him in all your path, and He will keep your way straight. Men always ought to pray and not lose heart. Many first-generation members devoted their energy and time to obey and carry out the duties that true parents assign to them. I think they face many difficulties and feelings of disappointment and or failure. Second generation may think, I do not want to repeat the same path as the first generation, seeing the suffering first generation. The beliefs and stories of the first generation may appear to be irrelevant for later generations. However, they can teach important lessons about encounters with God through hardships and trials. My faith journey was full of struggles, challenges, and feelings of failure. I want to tell you about what I went through and what I learned. Maybe this can somehow relate to the lives of second generation. I became a CARP member in 1989 as a first-year student at Hokkaido University. CARP Center had more members until 1990 spring. Then we faced hard times. We witnessed on campus all day and night and got no new members. When I graduated in 1993, half of the CARP Center members also graduated. That means that CARP Center lost half of its members. During my CARP time, I tried too hard to help my parents accept my faith. My father and I had more conflicts around the time of graduation. I was forbidden from returning home after graduation. We often think that faith can achieve anything. We agree on that, right? If we work hard with faith, we should be able to grow the membership and witness family and relatives. We often work hard to prove our faith. Then we often feel that our faith is lacking and kind of failure if we do not see the outcome we hope for. So I left the CARP Center with feelings of failure. A new mission given after CARP made me move forward. CARP graduates were asked to go to UTS. When I was preparing to enter UTS, I had an opportunity to help the CARP Center with fundraising in December 1993. 9 months passed after my graduation. The center had become much smaller since I left. And just before going to the UTS, I had an opportunity to reconcile with my father. I was working near my hometown to make money for UTS. So my father allowed me to come home. And he even drove me to the train station near home on the day I left for UTS. I felt I made one step forward and hoped to witness my parents. However, the one step and hope turned to a big disappointment and feeling of failure by my father's sudden death. Soon after, Champion Providence began. As you are aware, it enables us to free and bless our ancestors in the spiritual world. It did not fully heal my grief and disappointment from losing my father, but it helped me cope and move on. At UTS, we are often told that many UTS graduates failed their mission from two parents because they had weak faith. We felt like we had to succeed in the mission to show our faith. When I finished my studies at UTS, I was assigned to be a missionary in Israel. Like many of the first generation members, our church did not have the resource to support the missionaries' living expenses. We had to rely on ourselves to get the mission country and make living there. I hope the current young missionaries will have everything they need for their missionary works. My wife was expecting a baby when I was in Israel. She was at home with her mother, luckily. But I had no income or visa in Israel. I overstayed my tourist visit by 3 months. I remembered the stories I heard at UTS about how many UTS graduates failed their mission from two parents because they lacked faith. I searched for a job desperately while doing missionary work. I had no job experience or computer skills at that time. I finally received a reply from one company for my job application. I worked there for a few days. It made me hopeful to continue living in Israel. But their project with a Japanese company fell through. So I had to return to America. I left Israel feeling defeated, like when I left the CARP Center and lost my father. The birth of our first daughter made me move forward. I learned about computers and get a computer job in New York City. Around that time, I hated being asked, "What are you doing?" Because UTS graduates were expected to do something else. I often wondered if God approved of my choice. One thing made me feel that God was behind me, even though I didn't follow the mission from UTS. I lost my job after 3 years in New York City. I was unemployed for a year in 2003 with 2 kids. At that time, government extended unemployment benefits due to the economy. An Israeli company gave me a part-time translation job. We could survive with unemployment benefits and the income from the part-time job from the Israeli company. Soon after I got the job here in North Carolina, the part-time job from the Israeli company ended. It was like manna and quail from heaven in Moses' story. I wondered what I could do in North Carolina when we came here. I decided to focus bringing up and teaching children. We are somehow taught that if we work hard with faith, our children will also be faithful and stay in church. When we got this Durham church in 2008, the Sunday school room was full of young children in Sunday school. I asked the children, what brought them to church? The children come to church because of parents or friends. I wondered how the children can develop their faith, their own faith, and choose to come to church when they grow older. One day when we are talking about church service, one of my children said that he would go to church and return home right after service ends when he grew up. It is better than not going to church at all. But my children are still far from the point of coming to church by their own choice. Most children in Sunday school grew up, went to college, and became adults. We only see a few children in our Sunday school now. Some events like workshops and youth program gave me hope and a sense of progress. We went through a lot of difficulties during the COVID pandemic, but I had moments giving me hope regarding to youth education. We had remote Sunday school sessions to learn Divine Principle and True Parents Life Course with youth. We had several participants at most. We had well-organized nationwide youth program and blessing preparation sessions. The hope and sense of progress did not last long. I could not see the result I wanted. We stopped having Sunday school online because we had fewer people, and I could not see the change on my children's attitude toward the faith after they completed the National Youth Program and blessing preparation sessions. And there's one more question that I struggle to answer in my mind. Are your children going to receive blessing? In secular world, my child entered Ivy League college. My child is a doctor. These achievements make the parents be proud of themselves and receive a lot of praise from many people. In our church, my child is in GPA. My child received a blessing. My child is a missionary. These achievements make the parents be proud of themselves and receive a lot of praise from many people. And I asked myself, am I raising children for my pride and to receive praise from people? Two memories came to my mind. One is when I visited my grandmother in Japan. She was at a nursing home. She suffered from dementia. She lied at the bed. I was not sure if she remembered me. When she saw me and children, she said to me, "You became a good father." And she gave me money as she used to do when I was young. I was touched that she was still giving in her such condition. The other memory is when I asked my mother what she wanted for her birthday. She answered me, "I do not need anything. It is filial piety that you and your wife get along and live happy." We think that filial piety requires to do something like bringing witnessing result, fundraising result, fulfilling mission, receiving blessing, etc. God guided me and lifted me up despite I was not enough and could not accomplish many of what I was expected to do. I asked God, "I know you helped and guided me. How about my loved ones? How can they find God?" I'm not spiritual and not sure that it comes from God or myself. But the answer is, God is everyone's God. God has plans for everyone, as He had for me. What I need to do is to keep loving and serving unconditionally with all my heart, as my grandmother presented me. I would like to remind second generation that someone in our community is praying for your happiness. Regardless you come to church or not, receive blessing or not, make donation or not, I hope everyone finds God in his or her life. It is the way to find true happiness. Thank you so much. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Parent, thank you for this time, for us to gather together and worship Heavenly Parent. Heavenly Parent, we feel many times we are not enough. We are teaching Heavenly Parent and your love, but many times we are not enough to show your love through us. And our children may not find God's love through us. That trouble us, and we are not so enough. But Heavenly Parent, you have planned for everyone, like you have planned for each one of first generation. We believe you have plans for second generation. And we hope second generation can find Heavenly Parent in their life by your plans. Heavenly Parent, let us not lose our heart even though we feel we are not enough, we are defeated, we failed. But let us have heart to stand up again and move on. And let us serve, love unconditionally with all our heart. Thank you very much, Heavenly Parent. I'd like to report everything in the name of brothers and sisters gathered here. As you.